Good morning and welcome to my channel, The Fruitcake Astrologer, where I'll give you an astrologer's take on current events and people in the news. And today I want to take a look at the Trump impeachment trial, which is set to begin next week, and what is looking to happen for the impeachment. Now, for all you astrologers, this chart is flipped. And the reason I did that is because I am my own client, but I'm asking about a third party, which is Trump. So when I flip it, Leo rises. Leo, of course, is the king, and we know Trump's a Leo. So I consider this chart radical. In other words, it's readable. Okay, so Trump is represented by Leo and the sun, and then the opposing party, which would be the opposite of the first house, which would be the seventh house. Now, you'll notice Venus in the seventh house in Pisces. Okay, now Venus is supposed to be exalted in Pisces. That's a nice placement. It's kind of like the nun, a really good person. Now, whether you see the positive or negative side of any planet depends on how well it's aspected. So let's take a look. How's Venus doing? If we look at the grid, we see Venus is squared by Mars applying, okay? And it's also trying the node. This would tend to indicate it's a karmic struggle. This is some karma that's playing out, and also a sextile to the midheaven. So she will have an opportunity, I believe, to raise her status. Okay, now, sextiles are opportunistic. In other words, she'll have an opportunity, but she's going to have to do something to reel it in, or the energy will pass. So now you'll notice Venus is in Pisces, and Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So Venus in Pisces can be the nun, or it can be the deceptive woman. So basically, is Neptune in good shape? Then we get to see the charity, the religious side of Neptune. If it's afflicted, we'll get to see the bad side of Neptune, which is lies, deceit, illusion, escapist. Now, there's a lot of rumors that Nancy Pelosi has a drinking problem, okay? And we've all seen how she has difficulty speaking, and a lot of people say that is the long-term effects of alcoholism. So let's take a look at Neptune and see, is she, praying, and, a good Catholic like she says, or is she deceitful and alcoholic? Now, most people, you guys, are not black and white. They're probably a little of both, okay? So let's take a look at Neptune. Okay, Neptune doesn't look so hot, all right? Now, you'll notice in a Harari chart, separating aspects means the energy's passed away, okay? And applying energy, if you see an A, like, for instance, Neptune septile Pluto to A16 means it's applying. That's coming our way. If you see Neptune separating from a trine to the moon, that's passing away. Okay, so Neptune also squares Mars. So we see Venus square Mars and we see Neptune square Mars. Nancy Pelosi is furious with Trump. Oh my goodness, this shows someone who is completely and totally angry. So he did something to really make her mad. Now, also notice that Neptune in conjuncts the ascendant, and the ascendant, 14 Leo rising, in conjuncts it. Man, she's having nothing to do with him. Now, when I see an afflicted Neptune like this, which disposits that Venus, okay, Venus is in Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune. That's what we mean by disposits. That she's not telling the truth, okay? And the reason she's not is he's got her hackles up, and she's so angry with him. She's, in my opinion, this is like somebody who will lie, who will deceive to get rid of this guy. He ticked her off. He did something, and I think she's just not having it. Okay, so let's take a look at Trump. Trump is the sun. Trump is in Capricorn. The sun is, in Capricorn, which is a sign of the ruler. Saturn is natural ruler of the 10th house. And the sun is in the 6th house, which indicates distress. And Capricorn is also the sign of worry. Okay, so they are definitely harrying him. Now, you'll notice the sun last passed over Saturn and Pluto, which is worry and emotional pressure, but it's passing away. So, yes, I think they upset him, but he's gotten past it. You notice the sun has moved past Saturn and Pluto and is moving toward Mercury, okay? So, but it does show distress and it does show worry. So I think this is bothering him. Now, if we look at the sun, and I'm only going to talk applying aspects because these things are coming to pass and we want to look at what's going to happen in the future. So you'll notice that the sun is squared Uranus. So in the sign of money. This makes me think that Trump is going to have something about his finances, something about money exposed, or they're going to come after him and say he's corrupt financially. Now you'll notice that the sun is next over Mercury in Aquarius, which makes me think he will testify at his own impeachment trial. I don't know. Maybe he won't be able to resist the opportunity, but then again, it opposes it, so it's a pulling away. He may be called to testify at his own trial. Now, I'm kind of interested in what Trump did to tick off Nancy Pelosi, and so I'm looking at that Mars in the 4th house of real estate. And I think maybe Trump, has been very verbal about Pelosi's district having a lot of homeless problems. And I think maybe that was part of his, she needs to go back and clean up her district and, whatnot. So I think that must have really made her angry with Mars in the 4th house of real estate. And you'll also notice Mars rules the 9th house, which is also the house of politics and also foreign things. So she may feel that he's being too hard on immigrants. Or maybe he called her down about something about immigration in the state of California or her own city, maybe the sanctuary city or something, brought something to light. But anyway, he's really, really made her mad. I suspect not too many people make Nancy Pelosi mad and survive politically. That's my take on, her long life as a politician. Notice also that Fortuna is in the 3rd house in Libra, the sign of attorneys. So the 3rd house is the house of communication. And I think that the attorneys are going to really end up the winners of this, that they're going to get a lot of publicity. Now notice the opposition house is ruled by Aquarius, which is Uranus. Okay, now if we look at them, they're in a really big, tight T-square. I think that they are in for difficulty as well. If you look at Uranus, it's squaring the sun, it's squaring Saturn, squaring Pluto, opposing Fortuna, and that represents the opposition, which would be the Democrats. And I think the Democrats are going to come out damaged by this as well. So, as is often the case in these kind of things, the parties are damaged and the attorneys win. And the attorneys are the ones who come out on top. But I think it's going to get ugly. I think it's going to get really nasty. I think they will reveal some shocking thing about Trump financially, potentially also have some very difficult, shocking things revealed about his accusers like Schiff and Pelosi. So, in my take on this, and this should come as no shock to you guys, with a Republican Senate, that Trump will not be convicted. But I do think both parties, Pelosi and the Democrats and Trump, will both be damaged by this. But if you ask me which one will be damaged more, it would appear to be that the Dems will be more damaged. If I look at their ruler, Uranus, it is very afflicted, very, very afflicted. Okay, if I look at Trump and the sun, yeah, he's got a square to Uranus, he's going to have conflicts with them, and a square to Fortuna. But if I had to weigh the aspects, it looks like the Dems come out much worse in terms of, what happens. Okay, so that's my take on it. Lots of ugliness, lots of infighting. Nancy Pelosi's really, really mad at Trump. Trump is worried. He's feeling harried. He's kind of put it behind him. He's moving on. He might even consider testifying at his own trial. I don't know if he'll do that. I would recommend against it based on the aspects that I'm seeing. I think that the Dems will be more damaged by this than President Trump. I think it's going to get really ugly, but I do not see him being convicted. No shocker there. Okay, thanks, guys. If you enjoy this, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for listening.